Hello everyone, myself Manoj Patil, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, MUP's KBT College of Engineering, Nashik. Dear student, see in this lecture we are discuss about water distribution system part 2. In that mainly we are discuss about capacity of distribution or service reservoir. Then we are discuss mainly about the various methods of calculations of balancing storage or reservoir, that various methods like mass cover method, hydrograph method and analytical method we are discussed, and based on that one example, okay, design problem how to calculate the balancing storage or reservoir. So let us start. Okay, first one is capacity of distribution or service reservoir. See student, the total capacity of the reservoir is the sum of the three storage, that is balancing storage, fire storage and breakdown storage. Okay, above storages are many times called as the reserve. That's why that storage is called as the balancing reserve or balancing storage, isn't it? So whenever we are calculate the total capacity of the reservoir, so at that time first of all you have to calculate that balancing storage, fire storage and then the breakdown storage. Then the addition of this storage is the capacity of the distribution or the service reservoir. See, now we have to discuss one by one this storage in detail. See, balancing storage or reserve. See student, the demand of water of the town is always fluctuating. Okay, this is not constant, that is always fluctuate. Okay, and the function of this balancing storage is to cope up with the variable demand with a constant rate of water supply from the treatment unit. So see, what is meant by balancing storage? See, the quantity of water that must be stored in the reservoir for equalizing, or we can also call it as for balancing this fluctuating demand against the constant supply is called as the balancing storage or balancing reserve, isn't it? See, this balancing storage also reduces heavy pumping at peak demand period, because we are store the water, we are balance the water. That's why whenever there is peak demand is there, so at that time we can give the water to the consumer, or we can send the water to the consumer, okay, without heavy pumping. Okay, so this is the advantage of this balancing storage or reservoir. Okay, see, this balancing storage quantity is calculated by using the hydrographs of inflow and outflow by mass curve method. Okay, that method we are discuss laterally in this lecture. See, this quantity can also be worked out by analytical method also, isn't it? Next one is the fire storage. Okay, as the name indicates, fire storage. So what do you mean by fire storage? See, the quantity of water required to be stored for extinguishing the fire, okay, that is called as the fire storage. So the quantity of water which is to be required for the extinguishing fire, that storage is called as the fire storage. See, the National Board of Fire Underwriters recommended that the reservoir should be capable to supply the water for extinguishing a serious fire for 10 hours having population 6,000 and more. See, this is the underwriters, National Board of Underwriters. This is the empirical formula that recommended that the reservoir should be capable to supply the water for extinguishing a serious fire for 10 hours having population 6,000 and more. So that water supply should continuously supply the water for continuous 10 hours. That should be the fire storage should have that reservoir. Then for smaller population, the rate of supply of water remains same, but what happens? Only but for the reduced duration is given. See, for the population of 4000, duration is 8 hours. For population is 2000, the duration is supply is 6 hours. And for population is 1000, the duration in hour is the 4. See, these requirements are very high and are not practicable in India. Okay, and in general, water at the rate of 1 to 4 liter per head may be stored as a fire reserve depending upon the importance, okay, of that particular zone. So how to calculate that? See, in the elevated service reservoir, the quantity to be stored for a fire reserve is calculated by this given equation, that is R is equal to into bracket F minus P into T, where R is the fire reserve in the liter, F is the fire demand in liter per minute, then T is the duration of fire in minutes, and lastly P is the reserve fire pumping in liter per minute. So from that equation we can easily calculate the fire reserve, how much quantity of water is to be required for the fire reserve in liter. See, many times for economy, fire reserve is stored in a separate tank at ground level and then pumped directly into distribution system. When fire takes place, of course, such pump should be maintained in working order and should be checked intermittently. Next storage is the breakdown storage reserve. See, this breakdown storage reserve is also known as the emergency storage. Okay, because we require the water at sudden, at any time, at any emergency. That's why this storage is called as emergency storage also. See, this breakdown storage required to be stored to meet the demand in case of the failure of pump or failure of driving unit like electric motor or diesel engine driving the pump. Okay, see, this breakdown storage required because if suppose in our water distribution system, suppose if any electrical motor is get failed, suppose any diesel engine in driving pump is get failed, so the people is get affected. Okay, they will not get the water. So that's why this breakdown storage is very important. See, it is difficult to estimate the amount of water to be stored on account of breakdown because it is not known the nature of failure and time required for the repair of that electric motor or pump or any other instrument. Okay, that's why it is customary make a lump sum provision of 20 to 25% of the total storage. So breakdown storage is how much? It is 20 to 25% of the total storage. See, this confirms the need of keeping some standby units of the pump with different types of driving motor. Okay, so the total storage capacity of the reservoir is the summation of this your balancing storage, then the reserve fire reserve storage and the breakdown reserve. See, here is breakdown storage. The graph is to be plotted cumulative demand or supply in liter versus time in hour. So in that the supply, how much amount of demand is there. Okay, so this is the demand curve. Okay, it is varying. Okay, and this is the supply curve. The amount of water is to be supplied is shown in this breakdown storage curve. Now next is the very important term, that is the calculation of balancing storage or reservoir. How to calculate the balancing storage or reservoir? See, there are three methods are there which are to be utilized for the calculation of balancing storage or reservoir. First one is the mass curve method, second one is the hydrograph method, and third one is the analytical method. But mostly in practice, okay, analytical method is used for calculation of the balancing storage or reservoir. So we are discuss these three methods one by one in detail. See, first one is the mass curve method. What do you mean by mass curve method? See, this mass curve, it is a graph of cumulative demand outflow versus time or cumulative supply versus time. See, in this graph, it is shown. This is the cumulative demand or supply in liter versus time. Okay, so mass curve is a graph of cumulative demand or cumulative supply versus time. See, the mass curve of demand and mass curve of supply are plotted on the same graph. Okay, and the quantity of balancing reserve is worked out by adding the maximum ordinates between the demand and supply curve as explained in this below. Okay, see the ordinates, the maximum ordinate, how we have to calculate the balancing reserve? By adding maximum ordinate, that is AB and this CD. By adding this maximum ordinate between this supply curve and from that demand curve, we are easily calculate the balancing reserve. Okay, how to calculate that? There we are taken one example, and from that you can easily understand how to calculate this balancing reserve. Okay, see how to plot this mass curve. See, there is procedure for that. So first one is the for the maximum demand day, you have to obtain the hourly demand for 24 hours, isn't it? Then what you have to do? You have to work out cumulative demand. Okay, you have to find out the cumulative demand starting from fixed time like 8 am or 12 night. Means suppose at 8 am the demand is 500 or 2 mld. Okay, at 8 am the demand is 2 mld. At 10 am demand is 2 mld. So you have to find out the cumulative demand. 8 to 10, 4 plus 2 means cumulative demand is 6 mld. In this way you have to find out the cumulative demand starting from the fixed time. Then you have to plot the graph of cumulative demand against time to get a mass curve of demand. Means you have to draw this demand curve here in this way. How much is the demand? Okay, so cumulative demand versus time, you have to draw that graph. Then on the same graph paper, plot the cumulative supply against the time. Okay, so see, depending upon the pumping hour, the curve will be for 24 hours or for certain period of the day, which is as shown in this figure. You have to draw this supply curve also. See, this supply curve is drawn on that same graph paper. Okay, see, then you have to what you have to do? You have to find out the maximum ordinates between the two curves. Okay, see in this figure AB and CD are the maximum here. This AB and CD, these are the maximum ordinate. So from that maximum ordinates you can easily calculate the balancing reserve by mass curve method. Okay, so how you can calculate the quantity of balancing reserve? By adding this maximum ordinate AB plus CD, you will get the quantity of balancing reserve, isn't it? Next method is the hydrograph method. See, this is also very simple method, but it is not practically used. See, the hourly demand, what we have to do in this method? The hourly demand of the maximum day, okay, the demand rate, okay, the hourly demand of the maximum day is plotted with respect to time. Okay, see, demand in liter in y-axis and time in the x-axis. From that you have to draw this graph. Okay, see this curve P Q R S T U obtained, whatever this graph is obtained, that is called as hydrograph. Okay, see, as seen from the graph, the demand is more in the morning time, because at time, see, at 6 am to at up to 12 pm this demand is maximum, and at evening also it is maximum, and it is less during the other hours of the day. Means at the night that demand is less. See, if there is pumping for 24 hours, the rate of pumping will be equal to the average hourly demand, okay, which is shown here by this dotted line, okay, that is Q to T, okay, and this area QRST enclosed by this demand line and constant pumping line AB represent the required storage, isn't it? So in this way, by this hydrograph method, we can calculate the required storage. Now next last method is the analytical method, okay, which is very important and which is mostly utilized in practice for calculating the balancing storage or reservoir. So see what we have to do in this analytical method, how the balancing capacity of the reservoir is calculated by analytical method. See, from the available data of the hourly demand, first of all, the cumulative hourly demand and the cumulative hourly supply are worked out and tabulated for 24 hours of the day. So first of all, we are find out the hourly demand and cumulative hourly supply. Okay, then we have to tabulate it. Okay, then the hourly excess or shortage of cumulative demand by comparison with cumulative supply is worked out for every hour, isn't it? And then from that, the sum of maximum excess and the sum of maximum excess of demand and the maximum excess of supply will give the balancing reserve capacity of the reservoir. Means the maximum excess and the maximum supply will give you the reservoir balancing reservoir capacity, isn't it? So see, we have to discuss one example based on this analytical method, okay, which is mostly asked in your exam to find out the balancing capacity of the reservoir. So how this on this particular topic, how the what type of problem is asked. So you have to so that problem or example are discussed here. See, suppose this type of example is given to you, like the design demand of a town is 5 million liter per day and it is pumped into an elevated service reservoir at a uniform rate from 5 am to 9 am and 5 pm to 9 pm. Okay, the variations in consumption of water are detailed below. See, the consumption of water are given here. So period and the consumption as a design demand. So for period 5 am to 9 am, the consumption of a design demand in percentage it is 40%. Then from 9 am to 5 pm it is 15%. From 5 pm to 9 pm 30%. From 9 pm to 12 pm it is 10%. And from 12 pm to 5 am it is only 5%. And from that you have to design the balancing capacity of the reservoir. So see, such type of example they are asked and they are asking to you to find out the balancing capacity of the reservoir. So see student, we are already discussed there are various methods like mass curve method, analytical method. So we are solving this problem by this both method, by analytical method also and by mass curve method also. See, in your exam they are mostly asked in any method you can solve that problem in any method. If they are asked specifically you have to solve that problem or you have to determine the balancing capacity of the reservoir by mass curve method, at that time only you have to solve that problem by mass curve method. Okay, if they are asking you have to just find out the balancing capacity of the reservoir, then at that time you can use any method for finding the balancing capacity of the reservoir. That is, you can use the analytical method, mass curve method or hydrographic method. Okay, now see, we have to find out this balancing capacity by analytical method. So first of all you have to read this problem very carefully. So see, the design demand of town is 5 mld. So design demand is how much? 5 mld. Okay, then pumping hour, it is pumped into an elevated service reservoir at uniform rate from 5 am to 9 am. Pumping hours are very important, that is from 5 am to 9 am and 5 pm to 9 pm. Means only these two period pumping action is to be carried out. So total pumping hours are 5 am to 9 pm and 5 am to 9 am and 5 pm to 9 pm. That you have to note. So first of all you have to calculate the pumping hour. So in the morning pumping is to be carried out from 5 am to 9 am. So total hours are the 4 hours. Then at the evening 5 pm to 9 pm pumping is carried out. That is for 4 hours. So total pumping hours are the summation of these two, that is 8 hours. Then design demand of town. Design demand is how much it is given, 5 million liter per day. So we are calculate the rate of pumping. Rate of pumping, total water is how much, design demand 5 mld and pumping hour are the 8, therefore 5 by 8 we will get the rate of pumping, it is 0.625 million liter per hour, isn't it? So rate of pumping is 0.625 million liter per hour. So this quantity, first of all you have to calculate total pumping hour, then design demand, and from that rate of pumping. Rate of pumping is important, 0.625 million liter per hour. Now you have to calculate the consumption during that specific period is work out, okay, from this table. So for that purpose you have to make this type of table, that is period, okay. Then the percentage consumption, how much percentage consumption, that is already given in our problem. Then the consumption during that period in million liter, you have to calculate. If it is consumption is given in percentage, you have to calculate in million liter. Then you have to find out the cumulative consumption in million liter. Then you have to find out the rate of pumping in million liter per hour. Then you have to find out the cumulative pumping, and then lastly excess consumption in million liter or supply, excess consumption or excess supply in million liter, that you have to find out. See, now period is given to you, means from that specific period 5 am to 9 am, that total hours are 4. How much percentage consumption here, 40%. Then 9 am to 5 pm, that is 15%, that is given in your problem, okay. From 5 pm to 9 pm the consumption is 30%. Then from 9 pm to 12 pm consumption is 10%. 12 pm to 5 am percentage is 5%, consumption is 5%, okay. So in this way you have to write down this table. Then you have to find out the consumption during the period in million liter. Now it is given in percentage, so we have to calculate in million liter. So total consumption is how much, 5 million liter demand, design demand is 5 million liter. So out of that 40%, so consumption in that particular this 4 hour, it is how much, 5 into 40%, okay. Or you can return this 40% 40 by 100 in this way also. So you will get 5 into 40%, it is equal to 2 million liter. Then 5 into 15%, that is 0.75 million liter. 5 into 30%, that is 1.5 million liter. Then 5 into 10%, that is 0.5 million liter. Then 5 into 5%, that is 0.25 million liter. So total is how much, 2 plus 0.75, that is 2.75 plus 1.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.25, that is total is 5 mld, isn't it? Then you have to find out the cumulative consumption in million liter, cumulative, okay. So you have to write down this 2 million liter as it is. Then this 2 plus 0.75, that is 2.75. This 2.75 plus this 1.5, that is 4.25. 4.25 plus this 0.25, that is 4.75. 4.75 plus this 0.25, you will get the 5 million liter. In this way you have to find out the cumulative consumption in million liter. Now next one is the rate of pumping in million liter per hour. See how you have to calculate this rate of pumping. We know the rate, we already calculate the rate of pumping is 0.625 million liter per hour. This is the rate, okay. So rate of pumping rate is the 0.625 million liter. So at this period, okay, 0.625 million liter, this is the rate of pumping from 5 am to 9 am. During 9 am to 5 pm there is no pumping. Then at 5 pm to 9 pm the rate of pumping is same, that is 0.625 million liter per day. During 9 pm to 12 pm there is no rate of pumping is there, and during the 9 pm to 5 am there is also no pumping is there. So you have to find out the cumulative pumping. So cumulative pumping is how you can calculate. So cumulative pumping is 0.625 into this 4 hours. you will get this cumulative pumping, isn't it? That is 2.5, isn't it? Because 0.625 into 4 hours, you will get this 2.5. 2.5 here is 0, so cumulative is again 2.5. Again this 0.625 into 4, you will get this 2.5. So 2.5 plus 2.5, you will get this 5 million liter. Again there is no pumping, so this 5 million liter per liter as it is, 5 million liter per liter as it is, isn't it? In this way you have to find out the cumulative pumping. Then you have to find out the excess consumption or excess supply. So cumulative pumping here, isn't it? And consumption is here, isn't it? So from that you have to find out the cumulative excess consumption or excess supply. So see here, cumulative pumping is 2.5, isn't it? So minus this cumulative consumption. Supply is 2.5 million liter, consumption is only 2 million liter. Therefore supply, excess supply is how much? 0.5. 2.5 minus 2, you will get the excess supply is 0.5 million liter. Again cumulative pumping is 2.5 million liter and the consumption is the 2.75, means excess consumption is how much? 0.25 here. Then cumulative pumping here 5, but the consumption here 4.25. So excess supply is how much? 0.75. 5 minus 4.25, you will get the 0.75. Again here cumulative pumping is 5 million liter. Then consumption here 4.75 million liter. So supply, excess supply is how much? 5 minus 4.75, it is 0.25. And here cumulative pumping is 5 and the consumption is 5, therefore it is nil. So in this way you have to find out the excess consumption and excess supply. And see, from this table you can easily calculate the maximum excess consumption. Maximum excess consumption is how much? 0.25 million liter, and excess supply is how much? 0.75 million liter. So we know that the balancing capacity of the reservoir is what? It is the sum of maximum excess consumption plus maximum excess supply. Therefore the balancing capacity of the reservoir is what? This 0.25, sorry, here 0.25 plus 0.75, you will get the 1 million liter, isn't it? So due to some mistake I here 0.25 0.27, so you have to make it correct. It is 0.25 plus 0.75, you will get 1 million liter, isn't it? So in this way you can easily calculate the balancing capacity of the reservoir, isn't it? Now same this problem we can solve by this mass curve method. So for mass curve method you have to draw the graph of supply, okay, mass, you have to draw the graph of cumulative flow versus time, okay. So from that you have to draw the graph of that demand graph and supply graph, and then you have to find out the maximum ordinate, that is AB, and this is CD, isn't it? Balancing capacity is AB plus CD, okay. So 0.25 plus 0.75, that is 1 million liter. So balancing capacity of the reservoir is the 1 million liter. So in this way we can easily calculate the balancing capacity of the reservoir by analytical method also and by the mass curve method. See, in mass curve method, first of all you have to draw the graph of the supply or pumping mass curve and then the demand mass curve. So in this way here is the demand for particular time, for 5 am to 9 am, then from 9 am to 12 pm, then 12 pm to 5 pm. In this way you have to draw that graph, okay, and from that you have to join the maximum ordinate, and then you have to add that maximum ordinate from that two graphs. You will get the balancing capacity of the reservoir. So I hope that student, all of you understand the capacity of the distribution or service reservoir, that is the balancing storage, fire storage, breakdown storage, very easily, and the various methods of the calculation of the balancing storage, that is the Maskor method, hydrograph method, and the analytical method. And see, this type of numericals are also asked in your exam, okay, which were solved by analytical method and by by Maskor method. So you have to do the practice at home. If you have any difficulty, you have to ask me. Thank you, student.